It's okay that my spleen has been completely replaced with soft tissue, right? Whew. Konnichiwa and welcome to the Rocky Mountains and Tombstone Hill, a place where we like to test crossovers and some pickup trucks and the occasional SUV. And I have brought my 1987 Suzuki Samurai to smash Tombstone Hill. Some of you guys have been asking about it, so that's what I'm gonna do, but
yeah, I'm here too. I brought along our 1990 Daihatsu Rocky, which is brilliant, but it's developed a big fuel leak. So can't drive that anywhere because it's just gonna start leaking fuel. Got a trailer coming to pick that up, but we're still gonna do the Samurai of Tombstone, and then once that's fixed, we'll have the epic mashup. So our first test in the
it does that sometimes.
It's bad noise. Our first test in the Tombstone Challenge is what we call the berm. It's this really short hill climb, but super steep, pretty articulated toward the top. It's a great test of, well, if I'm being honest, diff locks or limited slip diffs, which Nathan has neither of, but it's also a good test of weight and power. So we'll see if the little Samurai can make it up the berm.
It really helps to have really good articulation. I mean, I didn't really need to be in low gear, but you know, there was one thing. Had I stopped on that hill, I guarantee I would have lost traction.
All right, so this is Tombstone Hill. It's got two stages. The right side is called Truth. Very steep, about 30 degrees. That is a seriously steep hill. It's also loose and rutted out. And then once we go up Truth, if we can do Truth, Nathan's gonna try Dare, which is it's a whole nother league. It's very rocky, and it's gonna push that little Samurai.
These aren't the most comfortable vehicles for off-roading, but seriously, if you want something that will keep up with any side-by-side, plus you can load them in your pickup truck, not a bad option. People are selling them for good ones for like anywhere between $4,000 and $5,000. Really good ones for $7,000 or $8,000, and fully built-up ones for, you know, $10,000. And you may notice, by the way, as I'm going up this hill, I am slipping. You know why? Because I got crap tires. Don't yell at me about it. I didn't have $1,000 to spend on a really good set of tires. And the thing is that, unfortunately, my tryst, my love affair with this vehicle is limited. That's right. I'm gonna have to get rid of it soon. We'll talk about that later. First of all, that was Truth. Breeze. Although it did lose some traction, I could definitely see how that's challenging for a crossover. But now, I get to go up Dare. That's gonna be fun. So depending on which website you go to research this vehicle, it puts out new between around 63 or 64 horsepower and between 70 to 74 pound-feet of torque. It's a 1.3 liter four-cylinder engine. It's hooked up to a 5-speed manual transmission. Now the good news is a lot of work has been done and it runs like a sewing machine. That's a good thing. The bad news is we're up at nearly 9,000 feet, and regardless of the gearing, it really does struggle to convert air into power. So do I when I walk around up here, for that matter.
So tell me what it's like off-roading in the tiny, tiny Samurai.
Yeah, it's kind of like driving a modern Cadillac. Thing is that honestly, washboards are probably this thing's worst nightmare, because the springs are really tight and it's just a little bit on the rough side when it comes to that. But otherwise, in terms of hardcore off-roading, this thing is fantastic.
Yeah, because it can kind of go places that a normal 4x4 couldn't go, partly because of its size, right?
In fact, half the fun is being able to blaze the same trails that UTVs are able to go on. You know that Polaris that we had? That big blue one? This thing is actually smaller in almost every dimension. This could go on trails that thing can't fit on.
Now, you've owned it for, you know, pretty much a year at this point now. How has it been to live with? Has it been pretty reliable?
The parts are remarkably easy to find because they built a lot of these, and so you can find them. There are a couple problems. For one thing, highways, not exactly friendly with this car. It doesn't like going very fast, especially at high elevation. And then there is a question, of course, of comfort. And most people who are used to modern cars may find this a little uncomfortable. Now, I did do a little bit of a lift with this vehicle, just a real basic one to get it higher off the ground because I wanted larger tires and wheels on it, specifically so I could get a little bit more width, a little bit more bite, and I could air down easier. Now, unfortunately, I only had old used tires that I had on my Toyota, which are P235/75 R15s. They are wider than the stock tires this vehicle came with. But unfortunately, as you can see, not a whole lot of tread on them. That's the one thing I am concerned about. The good news is, with this lift, articulation is better. Bad news, it still rubs a little bit. By the way, my hill descent control system is awesome. Here it goes. First gear. Brakes. That's it. That's hill descent control. That's all I need, baby. And a firm grip on the steering wheel. But seriously, I'm in low gear. It really doesn't matter going downhill that much, but I take my foot off the brake. Yeah, it moves pretty quick. So a little bit of brake. I'm really glad I replaced the front brakes.
I think it would be a bad situation getting into an accident with pretty much anything.
Yeah, but that's kind of relative, isn't it? I mean, indeed, I will die instantly if I get hit by, Andre's Hummer or something like that. That's true. However, while I'm off-road, I know I'm superior to everybody else.
It's kind of hard to explain if you've never driven one, like just where those little Samurais will go, because even with open differentials, you'll pretty much get anywhere that someone in a Wrangler or potentially even a Rubicon can go.
Yeah, some of our older videos when this thing had a stock suspension and stock tires on it, I mean, it was going everywhere. Remember when we took it up part of, Hell's Revenge? This thing did really well.
All right, so Nathan's about to go up Dare. This is a much harder side of the hill. It's pretty rocky. Good test of ground clearance approach angle as well. So let's see how the little Samurai will do.
Samurai says, "You have got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding. This? That's what my little baby does." That's a little bit of grindage, but that's okay. There we go. Yeah. Thumbs up for good driving. Woo. It's okay that my spleen has been completely replaced with soft tissue, right? Whew. That is one of the issues. The ride quality is a little rough. Was truth or dare a major challenge? Not really, but bear in mind that this thing can do just about anything in Moab without really sweating it. But it was still fun, and I did lose a lot of traction, so I had to maintain momentum, and that's really the key with this. I am sad to say, though, that we're only doing a couple more videos with the Samurai. I am going to be selling it soon, so September, this thing goes away, and I'm sad about it.
But the good news is one of you guys out there could own Nathan's very own Samurai, the one that you've seen in all the videos. So send us an email, ask@tfltruck.com. We'll get you in touch with Nathan if you're interested in buying this little beast. But I think what we proved is just how amazing old school tech can be. I'm sorry we couldn't get the little Daihatsu up here, but next time, once we fix that major fuel leak, we'll get that thing back up this trail, hopefully with the Samurai if Nathan still has it, and then you'll be able to see them side by side.
That will be epic, so stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much for joining us at TFL Offroad and everything else we covered.
Yep, and check out tflcar.com, tfltruck.com, and tfloffroad.com for the latest and greatest in new and old reviews.